You're listening to the Veterinary Innovation Podcast.
You're listening to the Veterinary Innovation Podcast. My name is Sean Wilkie, and along with my awesome co-host, we interview the innovators in this space every week. Ivan, please introduce today's guest.
Hey, I'm Ivan Zach, and I'm excited to introduce today's guest, Tanika Hall. Tanika is a serial entrepreneur passionate about building solutions that make everyday life healthier, smarter, and more connected. She is the CEO and founder of ZooDoc, go-to platform for finding trusted pet professionals who specialize in treating all types of pets and exotic animals. Tanika is building a national pet care platform that connects pet owners to veterinarians with transparent pricing, cost comparison tools, and flexible financing options. Tanika, welcome to the show. Thank you for finding the time.
Awesome. Thank you guys for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Tell us all about ZooDoc. What is it? How do consumers consume it? And what does it do?
Sure. I think I want to start a little bit on how I decided to do the platform. Can we start there? So a couple years ago, my daughter had this cute little frog, and I got to be the mother for frog. Fun times, obviously. And the frog was acting really lethargic. And I was like, what is going on with this frog? We got to figure out what's going on. How do I even find a vet for this frog? I had no idea. I did Google searches. I had to call multiple vets. I think I ended up calling 4 different vets to finally find somebody that would take that frog and actually look at him and actually triage the frog, right? And so that experience is where ZooDoc came into play. So I decided, okay, so if it's this difficult for me, and I'm pretty tech savvy, right? It's got to be difficult for other people to find the care for the pets that they have, especially exotics in particular. So birds, frogs, lizards, things like that. So the impetus for starting ZooDoc was really, can I find a way to get pet parents to be able to connect with a vet that they need at the right time for the type of pet they have, basically.
That's very interesting and usually follows the innovator dilemma. That story is not unusual for us. You have a problem, you go to look for a solution, there's no solution, and boom, innovation comes out of a problem. It's something that we've talked about across this industry with literally hundreds of people. So pretty neat. I want to back up even before that now that we've started our journey. What has your past career looked like that's enabled you to kind of say, you know what, I'm going to solve this problem with technology?
That's a really interesting question. So I actually started my entrepreneurship journey when I was 16. Me and my friends were like, okay, we have an idea. Let's do this. The idea was a magazine called Hot 24/7 magazine. Started that magazine, 16 years old. At the time, we really didn't understand how to do things like trademark and things like that. So we actually got an envelope. We put all our idea documents in the envelope and sent it to our address, certified mail, sealed, crazy. I've also been working in tech for a long time, mostly on the human health side. So I've done a lot of data stuff. I've done AI. I've actually created sepsis AI models and things like that. And I've started other businesses as well. Nika Health is one of my human health care projects that I'm working on right now. And so to answer your question, I've always been passionate about solving things. I've always been passionate about entrepreneurship, and I am very comfortable in tech and data and things like that.
So what does the model looks like for this new initiative for the ZooDoc? I mean, business model. So if we're looking at it from the entrepreneurial side of things, so from what I understand, one side is looking and connecting. It's almost like ZocDoc. The name reminds me of the human version of it. So how does it work? How is it monetized? And yeah, what's the secret sauce behind it?
Sure. So we have multiple different flows within the ZooDoc platform. So we have lead gen, where we get patients to the doctors. We have an intake process where we triage the patients, does this person need emergency, urgent? They just need to go to a general vet med. And does this patient, can they be tele-triaged, or can we use telemedicine depending on the laws in the area that we're at? And also we have a travel-based concierge service that helps pet parents if they need to go out of the country. We will make sure that they have the documents that they need. So we monetize this in different ways. So the pet parents, of course, they pay for the travel concierge. The vets pay for the leads and the intake stuff, so we do all that. And also the pet parent pays for the tele-triage and the telehealth, and the vets get a portion of that. So it's monetized in a couple different ways purposefully, because I like to have more than one way to get money into a house, you know?
So how has been the pickup from, because it's sort of like a two-sided market in a way, although no, well,
United market for sure. So it's B2B to C. Yes, we're correct.
so what's the challenge that you have to solve first? Is it getting the critical mass of questions from the pet owners, or how do you ignite the go-to-market strategy here?
So the pet owners are actually my biggest supporters. They love the site. They love what we're doing. They love what's going on. I think my biggest challenge right now is to get the trust of the vets to say, okay, let's sign up for this platform because it's something good for us. Because of course it's that two-sided market. One thing that I'm doing right now is I have a great group of advisors that are vets that are advising me on, what strategy we need to do in that place.
Okay. What was the most interesting learning throughout the journey for you?
Vet medicine, just like human medicine, takes a lot of trust, number one. Number two, that we have a lot of people out here that think that AI will solve everything. And I personally don't believe that because I've done AI. I think those are the most important things that I've learned.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I mean, so we've got a lot of veterinarians that listen to this show. A lot of the innovative veterinarians in the industry have been listening to our show for years. So if you were to pitch a veterinarian that was tech savvy on your platform, what would it sound like? Why don't you go ahead and do that?
That is interesting. Okay, so if I was to pitch a veterinarian that is tech savvy, I would say the platform will allow you to get the right patients at the right time. When patients call in to get triage, the platform will allow you to actually filter those to a tele-triage where they pay for it. So you don't miss that money as well for those calls. And it will allow you to get the travel patients as well because we'll filter them to you. So it's a market that allows you to get patients from from multiple different places and get that revenue as well.
Now that's amazing. Now I've never done this before, and I can't believe I'm going to do it, but I'm going to compliment Ivan unnecessarily. But Ivan happens to be a tech savvy veterinarian. So what would you say, Ivan, to Tanika?
Well, what I was about to say is that right now, in the last 15 quarters, our main problem in the industry is lack of patience. The veterinary industry in general was lucky for decades. We were always working on the workflow optimization because we had unlimited influx of patients. We just need to process the business. And it always shocked me how we are not aware of marketing altogether other than appointment reminders. So I think what you are solving is incredible because right now clinics don't have enough patients. And if there's any source of new lead generation, this will be very welcomed. In the last 2 quarters, in the most business meetings I've been in, the conferences, that's what people are talking about. So you're solving a real problem for veterinarians. And if you can funnel people in a steady way to them through the platform, that would be solving a really significant issue that we're facing right now in the industry.
Yeah, and I also think having the tele-triage that they can funnel people to rather than answering those questions on the phone, which is good. Vets are very compassionate people and they always want to help the pets. But having the pet parent pay for a quick tele-triage through the platform also helps that bottom line and also filters the pet parent to the vet, which is great.
So if I want to get started right away, I'm listening and I'm like, geez, I could use some more patience, and I've got all of these unique skills for these different types of pets. What do I got to do?
You can just go to the platform and sign up. There is literally a form on there for vets. Go sign up and we'll get you started. Easy peasy. I've made it very easy, actually.
And the website is
ZooDoc.org.
ZooDoc.org. So then, as a veterinarian, you're signing up and then you're part of the ecosystem. And then, if you are, then essentially you're on the roster of patients in a particular geography. Is that how it works?
Yes, exactly. And we filter those patients to you.
Okay. Is there any, and this is maybe a feature request from one of the savvy veterinarians. So, is there a future opportunity for me to expose my calendar and available appointments through the platform?
There is a calendar in there and you can just say, this is when I'm available. Yes, that is already a part of the platform.
So, and sorry, we're going to just keep peppering you with questions. My next question is, and this is what we do. So, Tanika, if I'm a veterinarian and I want to join up for this platform because I could use some more business, what's the fee structure? How much does it cost?
So it will be a small charge per lead that you get within the platform. And for the telehealth, it's just a portion of what the pet parent pays to get that telehealth visit or the tele-triage visit.
I love that. That's we're actually trying to solve for that right now in our network of hospitals. And Sean, this would be interesting to you too. So I'm actually hiring a salesperson, which I've never thought about hiring a salesperson for a vet hospital to literally call on the leads instead of using a receptionist because receptionists are not really trained for that. So literally a salesperson, and we're trying to determine what is the cost per lead that I can pay while this person is converting calls into appointments. So I think this is great that if it's going to be a fraction of kind of the lead generation, I think that pricing model is really good for the system.
What an absolutely interesting and crazy shift that we're watching right now in veterinary medicine. We've gone from this place where there was more than enough clients, not enough vet staff. Calendars are starting to be slower. And we're dealing with that at Talkatoo. One of our new features, this auto follow-up feature, is like driving prescriptions back into the clinic. It's asking people to come back in for their follow-up visits so that that revenue doesn't disappear. This is a crazy shift, Tanika. You're relatively new in the vet space, but for the last 7 years, we've been talking about there's too many customers. And so your business is entering vet med at a really exciting time because of the economic pressures and everything that is facing the industry. But what gets you most excited about this business? It sounds like you're a lifelong entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur. Why does ZooDoc excite you when you get out of bed in the morning to work on?
I love the idea that something that I'm doing is going to be helping animals and pet parents alike. One of the features that I'm planning to adopt as well is a way for them to get financing through the app so that if their dog is in trouble, they can go straight to the app, find a doctor, and have the funds to take care of that animal. And that's so important to me. I love animals. I love people. I think we should all be protected and cared for.
Okay, if we roll 3 to 5 years down the road, what does that look like for ZooDoc?
3 to 5 years down the road, we are doing great in the American market, the UK market, and we have expanded all across the world to different markets. And we're helping pet parents and pets all over the place. I want to help them everywhere I can.
I love the big bold vision. It's so interesting. And like, man, Ivan, it's so neat to be in our seats at this podcast. The last two podcasts in a row, very similar. And we've seen this with telehealth, we've seen it with scribes. And now it's like, this trend towards innovation to help the vets get busier, to fund the care, to make the accessibility of care more available. It's pretty neat. I think, Tanika, you're in for a really exciting ride. Once again, we've got a big vet audience. Is there anything else that you'd like to tell them about your platform or reasons to check it out? Take another stab at it if you'd like.
I'm going to say the pet parents are super excited about this platform. We post on social media and they love it. They love what's going on. And you should go ahead and check it out and see if it's something that you would like to be a part of. I think it's going to get amazing. It's going to be great. I literally just started this last year, which is crazy to me. And we're already scaling, innovating, doing the most. Come be a part of it.
Well, the episode is coming to an end. We always promise these bite-sized 20-minute episodes, but we always ask 2 questions at the end. Is there TED Talk, book, YouTube video, podcast, something that inspired you recently that you would like to recommend to our listeners?
Yeah, I would say it's a book. My favorite book is All About Love by Bell Hooks. And the reason why I love this book so much is that it's the core of who I am as a person. I believe that love is action. And I think that action extends out to the work that you do, even the work that makes you money, the volunteer work you do, the work that you do with your children and the people that you love. And so I think it's a great book that everyone should read.
And then the last question is another innovator in veterinary medicine that you think we should have on the show.
Yes. One of my favorite people is Adam Wajowski. I think he's wonderful. He's one of those people that is very what's the word I'm looking for? It's just a good egg, you know? When somebody's just a good egg and knowledgeable, I think he's wonderful.
Thank you so much for listening to the Veterinary Innovation Podcast. If you want to hear about our new episodes, please follow us on any social media channel. Also, you can check out our website at veterinaryinnovationpodcast.com. See you next week.